references. Did I say that word? I put a lot of syllables in that, didn't I? References. Oh, Jesus. Who are his references to verify his capabilities? You know how we do. You know, I work in commerce, and, you know, God has given me favor, and I can hire and fire. You know, sometimes I put out in the email, you know, Commerce Bank is hiring. But I do need you to call me and let me know you're putting your application in. Because I need to know who you are, because I don't want to misrepresent you. Furthermore, I don't want you to misrepresent me. Y'all know, I had a young guy come to my desk the other day. He said, Miss Shay, you know, I'm trying to get a loan. I said, you are. They're going to call you. Mark, and I said, what you want me to tell them? Because I can't co-sign for you, Joker. I don't know you like that. But my point is, listen. Maybe you know, girl, you know, if you just vouch for me. But you must know something about a person before you can vouch for them. You know how you and me both know folk can shame you. Well, if you give me a minute, God put some folk down for his qualifications and said if you had any questions, you can give them a call. So I think we're going to call on Moses. What about Moses? What do you think about Moses? I believe that God said if you call Moses in Exodus 12 to the 14th verse, he will begin to tell you, I got some hard-headed folk. God released them from Egypt, and we've been traveling, and God keep performing miracles after miracles, but even still the people of God are stiff-necked. But even though they are stiff-necked, I kept on blessing them. Go ahead on, call Moses. Moses would tell you when they were getting to the end, and then there was no way out, there was no way in, no way around, and God stepped in. And he parted a Red Sea. Don't call Moses. He'll tell you that how it wasn't no accident. You know, folks say, well, you know, it's a certain part of the year, and you know the water is this deep. Well, then how did all them folks drown in that little bit of water? Moses will begin to tell you that God brought me out when my back was against the wall. Moses said, God came and said, Moses, you got to do something. Stretch forth your rod. Who is God talking to this morning? You are at a point in your life. You are at an intersection in your life. And you are saying, God, which way do I go? God is saying, I need you to stretch forth the word of God. And if you stand on the word of God, his word will hold you up. Maybe Job. You think we can call on Job, Crystal? You know, I don't know about Job. God took a lot from Job. You know, some folk like, you know, you was wrong for that, God. I always say, you know how folk be recommending you at the homes, you know, my wife can do it. I'm trying to stay safe. Job was minding his own business. And they said as they became to the sons of God and they came in, and Job, Satan was minding his business, and God touched him on the shoulder and said, have you considered Job? I believe that if Job was somewhere in the picture, Job would have raised his hand and said, excuse me. Can I say something? But see, what you have to realize, it was not Job's reputation that was on the line. God said that if he's going to recommend you for the job, he's able to hold you up. You weren't about being shamed. God said it ain't about you, but it's about me. It goes on to say that Job's family, his cattle, and all that he had was gone. Do you sure you want me to call Job? He said, go ahead on and call. See, because if you keep talking to Job, the Bible said that he said that your ladder will be greater. I know you lost some stuff. I know it's some stuff you want to take into your promised land. But God said if you lost it, it wasn't connected to your destiny. If you lost it, you need to let it go. Look at your neighbor and say, let it go. Let it go. You need to go tell somebody else to let it go. The very thing that you are trying to hold on to is the thing that God is trying to deliver you from. I'm moving. I got to go home. So I asked the question again, and y'all can get my little prop, because I got to bring it home. I got about 5 minutes. Said I got about 5 minutes. Normally when you say that, the musicians go to the keyboards. I'm trying to help y'all. I really am. Just put it right there. Yeah, stay right there. Stay right there. So I asked the question again to you, New Life, is there anything too hard for God? Now I realize that we have witnessed his qualifications and we've contacted his references. This leaves me with the conclusion without a shadow of a doubt of God's capabilities. There is nothing too hard for God. Then his greatness, his qualifications checked out. His references checked out. I wonder why we are not in the right place in God. That if we realize that there is nothing too hard for God, we need to come in here and worship. Nobody has to beg you, because I realize that there's nothing too hard for God. Even though I'm going through some things, because I realize that there's nothing too hard for God. My worship is going to be for real.